All right, we are in record mode. Welcome. This is the 1099 Ladies Networking online weekly chapter meeting, where tonight we are having a conversation focused around collaboration versus competition. How does that interplay into your business? What do they mean to you? And how we can just really how they affect our business and how we can go about leveraging and growing our business from these two concepts. So I'm your host, Chrissy K. Rollins, and if you are new to the 1099 Ladies, we are a no-cost, non-seat specific networking group for women who are looking to expand their business connections and network. Actually, all throughout North Carolina now, we are just growing and expanding. So if you want to find out more about the different chapters, you can visit us online at the 1099ladiesnetworking.com. You can definitely join us on Facebook as well, where we will keep this conversation going, have replays and recaps from past conversations. Of course, you can connect with other 1099 ladies there as well. So check us out in the Facebook 1099 Ladies Networking group. And here online, we do it way more like a roundtable discussion, and we're happy that you're here to join us for the replay if you're watching a replay. And before we're going to dive into the conversation tonight, I'm going to give the ladies that are here live on the line an opportunity to introduce themselves. So ladies, if you will, just remember to unmute yourself like Tammy already has, and just let us know who you are, what your business is, or what brought you here to the call tonight. And if there's anybody in particular that you're really looking to connect with, we'd love to hear about it. Take it, Tammy.
I'm Tammy Taz with Rock the Taz by Photography. You want a relaxed photo session? Well, hire me and you'll see how relaxed you can be. I'm looking for anybody that wants headshots in the group, 1099 Ladies. You are getting, with an hour paid session, a free full gallery. So get your headshots in now. Tammy Taz with Rock the Taz by Photography.
Awesome. Thanks, Tammy.
Hey everybody, my name is Linda Tello. I'm actually the founder of the 1099 Ladies. In building this networking group, I've met a great many women. I am sure I know somebody you need to know. So let me ask you this. Can you have too many customers? Can you have too many referral partners? Is that a thing that you're really dealing with? If not, reach out to me. I would love to introduce you to somebody. Also, I'd like to say, I took Tammy up on her photo session. Got 167 photos for basically $1 a piece is what it boiled down to. So she's an amazing deal, had a great time, hate being photographed. Like I'd rather have a tooth drilled. And she made it fun. So that's impressive to me. Linda Tello of the 1099 Ladies.
Awesome. Love it, Linda. Thank you for being here. And for that shout out to Tammy.
All right, I'll go real quick. I'm not sure if anybody's going to start yelling in my house. I'm Wendy Russell, your chaos coordinator. There's a little chaos going on here at the household. But I tend to take care of small business owners who are looking for some of their assistance with back office type things and dealing with calendars, content, and connections. I try to bring some sort of standard operating procedure to those processes for a business owner.
Love it. Thank you so much for being here, Wendy, and for taking that risk to share a little bit more. Carlene?
Hi, I took myself off of turn my camera on. I'm Carlene LeMay with C2 Accounting and Business Support. We're a management accounting firm helping small business owners to take control of their business finances. Right now, we're looking to work with small business owners who maybe think they're not ready to implement some sort of accounting system. So we're actually going to start focusing on our accounting courses, kind of QuickBooks 101, to get people to learn what they need to know so that they can make better financial decisions. Again, Carlene with C2 Accounting.
Love it. Awesome, Carlene. Jan, are you in a place that you can share?
Oh, okay. Sorry about the picture. I don't think I'm so formal to show it up in the picture. Yeah, hi ladies. I'm Jan Pang. And I like to join your group to expand with Linda Taylor. Hopefully, we'll get some connected with the ladies that will taste. Hey, by the way, Linda, is your friend, what is her name with some kind of clothes exchanging event?
Heidi McKinney Simpson.
Yeah, have you done that already?
What's that?
Have you done that event already?
It's done. Yes.
It's done?
Yep.
I didn't get an email from you guys. What happened?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? That was an unusual situation with the pandemic,
That's
right in the middle of this.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Then they turned it on only for 2 days, and then they kicked them out. So
Oh.
it was a very unusual situation.
Probably Heidi will open it up again for some future.
She does consignment crawls. She does a lot of things. So
Okay.
that was a great deal, though. I sold my clothes. I got $100 worth of stuff. I spent $130, got 28 items, turned over my whole closet for $30.
You know, as soon as you saw that, I put all my clothes in a suitcase ready to go. Actually, I was waiting for it.
You know, you would have had to put your clothes in there like 3 months ago when they started it.
Really? Oh,
yeah, you can't show up with clothes. No.
Okay. Hi. Okay, I'm sorry, Christy. I'm just all right. So excited with you guys that
we're here to connect. So totally fine.
Events. I love it. So here we go. I like to give you ladies all complimentary needs analysis with the financial retirement plan. If you want it, I will give you no matter what. So my contact information I will put on the chat board, and then hopefully I can help you in any way. And then that is for your financial retirement plan. Yeah, Jan
awesome.
Pop from Transamerica. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jan. Glad that you can make it back here tonight. And I am Chrissy Key Rollins. I'm the owner of Holistic Restoration. And my main focus right now, I do a lot of work with empaths, healers, therapists, pretty much any entrepreneur that is service-hearted and minded and is more focused on making an impact and bringing results into other people's lives than necessarily being profit-driven. And right now, during the shifting times that we're all undergoing, the focus that I have been really called towards is just helping everybody to shift through this process, how to ground your energy, how to keep yourself focused and confident during these uncertain times, and how do you actually allow yourself to heal through the chaos that's happening. And one of the ways that I do that is through facilitating and holding space for conversations that are focused on helping you to heal and to use the power of words to reclaim your own power, to have a deeper understanding of the other person that you're trying to resolve conflict with, and allow you and whoever it is that you're engaging with to heal through the process as well. So if anyone's interested in just diving into a deeper way of looking at how you can use this time as an opportunity for your personal and spiritual growth, and also how can you continue to make an impact in the lives of other people, because I know a lot of us are really feeling called to make a difference and to support people how we can at this time. So anyone who is looking for those conversations or looking to bring those conversations to the groups that you're already facilitating, definitely reach out. I am happy to support that as well. And tonight, speaking of which, we are talking about collaborations versus competition. And again, as always, I'm happy to take this conversation in whichever direction you ladies that are here on the line want to take this. And I just thought it would be a really great topic. There's a lot of especially when you're first new in the business world and you're showing up to networking meetings, and especially those you're trying to find that group that you can fit into, and you're going to all those seat specific groups and all the seats are always taken, or you finally find that one that's open, like the wonderful 1099 ladies, and you find you're like one of 6 other real estate agents that happen to show up for that day. And you can definitely look at that as saturated markets, as competition. And there's another perspective that we can take to this as well. Can we turn some of that competition into collaboration? How do you handle competition that's out there on the field? Do you feel like there is competition? What would be competition for you? And what are some ways that you can partner, maybe even with some that would be viewed as competition, to be able to move something bigger forward or fill in some gaps for each other or whatever else comes to mind. So if anybody has something that's on their heart that they want to kick off this conversation, I know that we have some experts here on the line tonight. So Linda, what's on your mind? Get it rolling.
The first thing I want to say is you have no competition. That is an irrational illusion. Because and let me make my case for this, because I know you're hearing that and thinking nonsense, right? So the first thing I want to say to you is, there's only one of you. Whoever's listening, whoever you are, that's it. You're the only one of you. So that's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say is, how you pitch your opportunity is unique specifically to you. Your body language, your facial expressions, your rate of speech, your accent, everything about you, intrinsic to you, is yours. So a person can be in the room and they'll hear two of the same, but one will resonate with them and the other will not. So literally, I've been in a room full of people and I've heard my New York accent. I walk right up to that person and say, hey, how long you been here? What neighborhood did you live in? So it's just, humans are naturally drawn to something that's familiar. So whatever your business is, whether you're an accountant or a real estate agent, people are going to want to do business with somebody who is familiar, because that's who they're going to be comfortable with. And who you're not familiar with, Chrissy has this great expression. She says, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. And you know what? The opposite is also true. You can't say the right thing to the wrong, to the wrong person either. So, if you give your best possible pitch and they don't pick you, they weren't for you. And then the last thing I want to leave off with is, no one is greater than the universe. Whatever is meant for you is yours. Everything happens for you, not to you. No one can steal anything from you that's meant for you, because they're not greater than the powers at work in the situation. We're all just players on a chessboard, right? So own your space, own your opportunity, because there's no one else doing the way you do it. And that's why I say you don't really have any competition. Does that make sense to anybody?
Totally. I see Tammy nodding heads the whole time.
Your
that we're talking.
philosophy, Linda.
Say that again, Jan.
She's a philosopher. And is a very, very in a depth that you have to think a while what she's saying, and I think it's very true. Yeah.
Love that.
And then she
well, look at Jan. Technically, we are in the same profession, because we have the same.
I understand totally. Yeah, I think.
But she speaks another language that I don't speak. If somebody came here and that was their first language, who do you think they'd pick, me or her? Of course they're
exactly. Totally understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and then if somebody was from New York, of course they'd resonate towards me.
Yeah.
Because they'd feel more comfortable working with somebody that sounded familiar to them. I mean, so that's why I'm totally fine that she's here. I don't feel insecure or threatened by her in any way. And she shouldn't of me, because we are not working in the same demographic at all.
No, we are not.
It's totally fine.
You're good. You're good.
I'm proving
You're so
it.
Rational, That's how you can make those groups. So many of them. That's your depth. I'm for it. Total for it.
Yeah.
And like Linda says, that person's not for you if they don't hire you. I had 3 quotes, and all 3 of them didn't go to me, but you know what? It wasn't meant to be, and it wasn't my competition. They just probably didn't like my price, even though I am cheaper than most people, but hey, whatever. I just was like, whatever, you go with who you feel comfortable with. You don't want a relaxed photo session? That's fine with me. I don't care. It's no skin off my nose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Linda, your example about a whole room of people that you're able to pick exactly accent of New York and where you come from. That is something. Yeah. And that is so true.
So Jen, do you speak Mandarin or Cantonese?
I speak Mandarin, and I do understand a little bit about Cantonese.
So don't you think that if you were in the room and you heard somebody speaking like Mandarin, that you could walk right over to them and begin speaking in their native tongue, like with ease?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's your background.
The only thing I know how to say in Chinese is something off the menu for food. I mean, I know zero.
Well, that's good enough for you already. I mean, you are already, you top of the, most of people are able to manage it. Yeah.
Yeah, so I really just feel like everybody has their own deal, and I'm proving it to whoever's listening. So it's easy for me to say if I'm on a call and everyone's a real estate agent and an accountant and a cool coach and a photographer. But here's somebody who's really parallel to me, and I'm so fine. And I own this group. I could say, oh, don't invite so-and-so. I would never do that. I wouldn't even think about doing that because I really believe this. This is not blah, blah, blah. I really, really believe this.
I think this kind of atmosphere, it will make your group grow more.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can accept so many varieties that you don't know, because America itself is a melting pot.
That's right. That is what's great about this country.
Exactly.
There are a lot of things that need to be fixed, and we're all very mindful of that right now, especially in the current situation. But that doesn't mean there aren't good things. And one of the good things is a lot of people are here. It's a very diverse place. Right. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm thankful for the art. I'm thankful for the food. I'm thankful for the music. And I'm thankful for all the beautiful souls from all over the world that everyone can come here and make a way. Yeah. I love that. I don't want to be all something here. That would be a weakness, not a strength. I mean, I'm on a limb now a little because I don't like to ever, this is a slippery slope here. I don't want to talk politics ever, but I do want to talk about acceptance and appreciation. And I think that no one would be harmed for embracing those ideas, because that's what's great about this country when you find that. What do you think, Chrissy?
I think that nothing would happen in any of our worlds if it wasn't for collaboration, if it wasn't for people coming together and wanting to help each other. And what I am getting from all of this, just listening to you ladies, besides some really great tips for the recap tonight, is thank goodness there's competition, because now there's somebody to work with all those people that I don't really want to work with.
Yeah, that's a good
Have you even thought about that? Or even the fact that that just means that many more people are going to get helped. I can only fill up my schedule so much. I can't work with every single person that's in the Triangle area. I can't work with every single person that's in the Garner and Clayton area. And quite frankly, do we really want to? No, but that means that just that many more people can get help in the direction that you don't have to worry about taking care of. Just like you don't have to worry about paying the power bill at Target, but every time you walk in there, it's there for you. Somebody else is taking care of that, right?
Yeah, and you raise a really good point about one of the beautiful things about being self-employed is work-life balance. So when you work for a corporation, that's dictated to you. How many people you're going to see, how many hours you're going to work, when you're going to show up, when you get to leave, when you get to take lunch, when you get to go to the bathroom. Like, one of the nice things about being self-employed is that you can pick your workload, and you can pick who you work with, and you can pick people who you match well with, because why? They're going to be an excellent recipient of whatever you have to offer. So why not rock it out and be excellent rather than be substandard, serving a bunch of people who really aren't meant for you? That does, get rid of them, make room for the people you're supposed to work with, and trust that that will work, because nature abhors a vacuum. I teach that when I was a science teacher. You make a hole in your schedule, maybe the right person will fill it, and you'll be so happy you did that. And those people that didn't pick Tammy are just dumb. Who cares? You know?
I also think that
I always say, you can't pick stupid.
Too funny. Well, definitely we have, we experience collaboration. Of course you're kidding. Yes, these are jokes. And we are still allowed to joke. Yeah. Just so you know. I mean, if you post it online, it might get censored, but you are still allowed to joke these days. It's facts.
So scary.
Yes.
Wrong thing.
So, go ahead. Go, Carly.
Yeah, I was just going to add that I think that part of becoming a more mature business owner and becoming more self-assured in yourself and your services is knowing that not everyone's for you and not taking it personally when things don't work out. I remember in the beginning, I chased every possible opportunity, and every time I was told no, or every person who did not respond, I took it as a personal attack on me.
Oh,
But now I know, and I'm also like, okay, there's a reason why that didn't work out, and I'm okay with it. And sometimes they come back later, but you just realize that it's it's for the best. And I think that's just as you have more experience and you get more confident, you understand that it's there's so many potential clients out there or customers or whatever your service is that there's more than enough for everyone.
I completely agree. Couldn't have
What
said it better.
I love that. And I think that that's very true. When you're new to the game, it can be really overwhelming. And after you've been around for a while, you realize that not everybody that's got money in hand is the ideal client for you. And being able to see what that competition is out there, who else is in your field, right? We'll call that the typical view of competition. Competition just helps you clarify who you are. You learn who you are by seeing how other people are. And it can help you also to see, like, this is one way that competition can be really great. See what everybody else is going after and see what gaps are left, what holes are left open that can be filled and can be something that you focus in on instead of, all massively running in the same direction towards the same target market or demographic, right?
Yeah.
Other than like our networking groups, because this is, I think the 1099 Ladies is a great example of collaboration and coming together and helping to support one another and send referrals to one another. What are some other ways that you ladies have used collaboration or collaborate with other businesses? How have they helped you? Also, what are some tips on what to look out for? Because maybe not all collaborations are ideal. And maybe there's some things that we can look for up front to help us, especially for us that are new. Because one of the things that you'll notice too, going out to networking, is that not everybody's in it just to build their network. A lot of people are in it to sell you their stuff. And they can go along with what it is and want to collaborate with you, but really what they're looking to do is just kind of poach from your circle of people. We've all had that, hey, you do a party for me and I'll do a party for you. But really what they mean is you do a party for me. That's what we're asking for, right? So when it comes to collaborations, what kind of success stories, what kind of tips to watch out for, learning experiences, growth experiences have you gotten from collaboration? Would love to think about taking in that direction too.
Yeah, that's an excellent elaboration on a very well discussed topic. But I think there's a great Bible verse that says, "You'll know them by their fruit." So people can say a lot of things, but when you look at their actions, that's when you really learn about a person. It's funny, I've been subject to, you have a party for me, I'll have a party for you, and then there's no party for me. So, but I'm totally fine with that, because what I think is, hey, that's your bad karma. If you're going to lie and manipulate, what did you just do, to yourself? Because I was the good person and I behaved in a way that I felt proud of. So if you're going to be unethical and try to be shady and manipulative, that's going to come back on you. So be careful, because people will begin to know you for that person and avoid you. And then you won't be able to sell rice to the Chinese. I mean, you'll be locked out. So you have to watch your conduct, because that becomes your brand.
Definitely. And that's such a great point, because whoever you collaborate with, now that's an extension of you, and that's a representation of what you are putting out there in the world. And I know I certainly have had some past collaborations that I could tell were like imbalanced, but I thought they would level out, and then they never did level out. And then all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, this is way imbalanced. And not only is it imbalanced, but the longer it goes on, the more associated I'm becoming with this other person. And so one of the things I've had to learn through my business journey, and it's something that I think a lot of people like in the multi-level marketing business run into, is this thought that you have to have a team, or you have to have a partner, or you have to have that other person to make stuff happen or to move forward in your business. When in truth, if you're committed to moving forward, then you can have the workshops, you can do the webinars, you can do whatever it is that you think that you need a partner to collaborate with. And I know for myself, I hit a point where I realized, like, wait a second, I actually don't I realized that I was looking for some kind of like permission or security or validation in needing someone to agree to partner with me and moving forward. And if you're looking for things like that, it's a great point to self-reflect on, because of course that wasn't my conscious thought. My conscious thought is, oh, this is great. One more person to help with marketing, one more person to help to spread the word, one more perspective to bring to the table. But if you're not aware if this person can actually do these things or are able to hold it up, I would encourage everyone to look at times like this. Like, remember, same thing with getting clients. It's the same thing as like a job interview. They're not just interviewing you. You also have the right to interview them. And there was a point where I had to realize that it didn't really matter what Chrissy felt like doing or what Chrissy thought sounded good in the moment. Chrissy had to think about this business, this entity, this ship that she's at the helm of. And before I make any decisions now, I always make sure I think about it overnight. I take time to reflect on it, even if it's feeling right. If it's right, it's still going to be right the next day and the next day after that. So being able to take that step back, use some discernment, and make sure that you're not looking to lean on that person, but instead find that collaborator that can meet you, that can run with you and be that partner that complements what you have going on, and not just, I don't know, not let those imbalances come through. Not quite sure exactly what words to use for that, but I think you catch my drift.
Yeah, I like to think of that particular subject as coming from a position of gratitude. If you have a gift and you want to mentor somebody who's interested in that gift and wants to grow in that gift, and you bring them on with you because you want to gift them the way you do business, your philosophies, your ideas, and you want to pass on your success to another person, then that's a great partnership. But if you're just amassing teams because somebody upline is barking down at you, get more people, get more people, get more people, then what are you doing? Then you're just being manipulated almost. So if I, a young person who
it definitely feels different on the receiving end too, because you can feel that whenever it's just look, I'm just going out to everybody and we're going to see who sticks here. So sorry to interrupt.
Ridiculous. Yeah, if I met somebody who was young and said they were really interested, I would bring them on and mentor them. I would. And if anybody knows somebody, if you meet somebody who's interested in joining this industry and they're genuine in that interest, I would take time out of my life to help them. So feel free to recommend that person to me. But I wouldn't just recruit. It would have to be, oh, a friend of yours, Chrissy, highly recommends you to me. I showed a genuine interest. Can you please consider me? Then I definitely would consider them. But it would need to come that way as opposed to me, like you said, anybody with a pulse will do. That's ridiculous. They'll leave as quickly as they came. It's a revolving door. That's not a way to do business.
Yeah, it is. Actually, I think for doing business, especially, doesn't matter you're individual or you're small business, or you do has a employee. I think I just realized that there's a different level of ethic needs. For example, Linda, you know that we has a financial agent that we have has a high level of ethics. We've been controlled by a double regulation, federal and the state. We have to watch our behavior, watch what we say exactly according the fact and according the book, right? And then for some other business that is not needed at that high level. So for example, I have a friend that she's very interested in the insurance. So she's keeping asking, but by the behavior that I have involved with her, I think she's great whatever she's doing, but she might not in the same level of ethic as an insurance agent. So what you can do about it? She's still your friend, right? But as soon as you know that, you might not able to has my own judgment. I probably would not introduce her. Yeah.
Are you asking me what you would say to her to reject her? And one of you can say,
go ahead.
I don't want to work with close friends because I feel like our friendship will be damaged by a working relationship. Just like you don't work usually it's highly unusual to find a husband and wife that work together in the same
Oh,
business
that's a great tip.
because
Yeah,
they need a break from each other. You know,
that's
they
a
need
great tip.
separate identities. So you just say, I value our friendship more than the business opportunity. Let me introduce you to somebody else. Because the thing about somebody else is they can lay down the law. They
Yeah,
can say, listen, I'll
right.
get you out of jail. You better fly straight, kid. And they can take that from somebody else, where from a friend, you're not expecting that kind of a
Right.
language. I mean, unless you're friends with me.
I
I'll
actually
be like,
literally, yeah.
step out of line or I'll slash your tire, right?
I literally get involved into her business actually, and then that time she was leading me, and then I experienced the such, and I did question her, and then she has no answer for me. So now she backwards and asked me to join my insurance group. And then, you know, I just directly tell her, I says, remember, I asked you those questions. If you want to get into insurance level, that you have to bring yourself up a little bit, because this ethical level is a little bit higher. If you don't think you're able to control that, and I think you stay where you are, you just doing very fine. You know,
Yeah,
that's all my, yeah.
I mean,
you know, people.
so our industry is very heavily regulated.
Exactly.
People go to jail.
Exactly.
Bank accounts get seized. You know,
exactly. Yeah, you cannot survive if you don't according that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So somebody needs to explain that to her. This is not a relaxed setting. You know.
No, exactly. Yeah, but she said, "Oh,
like,
I
take a bad picture. She won't go to jail for that. That could happen, and it would be okay."
Right, right. Well,
So,
I cannot. I feel like
I'll give you another free session or something or whatever. She'd figure it out if something went wrong.
Yeah, but she's still my friend. I don't want to slap her.
It's the same for us. So it's a totally different ball game in our industry. But I think you know, like we started at the top of the conversation, not everybody is meant to be your coworker or your client.
Yeah.
And you have to pick wisely. And like Chrissy says, like, I know I'm repeating myself now, but you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and the reciprocal is also true. But that's not for customers. That's for business partners as well. It really is unilateral advice. Yeah. What's meant to be, you know, is you can't fight that. You don't kick against the current. Go with the current. So if somebody is not right, let it go. It's okay. There'll be another right person right behind them. Don't you think so, Chrissy?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go through life with either set of stories in your mind, and your experience is going to directly relate to that. But understanding or trying to test out what's right for you is right for everybody. That goes for friends, it goes for clients, it goes for partnerships, it goes for parenting. And it's just not something that we really endorse here or are accustomed to in our society. But it actually, in my opinion, is what we're all really waking up to right now in our society as well. How do we use the power of our voice to speak our truth? And also, how do we shift our conversations with each other as humans, as co-partners in this world relationship that we have with one another, in a way that we can speak our truth and not worry about being attacked, not worry about being disvalidated, not worried about being discredited, not worried about being told that we shouldn't feel that way. There's real power in just being able to be honest and to speak forthright. And it's just not something that's commonly promoted in our society. But I feel like the ball's in our court, and now is the time. And to realize that we don't wait until policies are put into place. We do the right thing as soon as we realize that there's a better way. And if we can lead that by example and have a way to have conversations that are compassionate, that are honest, that err on the side of honesty, that's really all that any of us want. I mean, do any of us want to be in a relationship in which someone's not being fully honest, or just trying to make us feel better, or not wanting to hurt our feelings?
But you never know. You never know people unless that's truly you get close enough, you know, some of them still, you know, because you don't understand what the other people, it's totally two different units.
Well, and you know what, Chrissy, you raise a very good point, because my truth is not the same as your truth, but that doesn't invalidate
That's
my.
exactly, yeah.
We can both have our own set of feelings at the same exact time. In fact, I've seen this before in science experiments where you have a bunch of people in the room and everybody writes down what they saw and felt, and nobody has the same story because we all have our own filters.
Yep.
And so it doesn't mean that anybody was wrong. It just
Right.
means that's their perception. And I think this is a conversation we actually should think about for next week or in the near future, is people's perception of the situation. Nobody has a wrong perception, but everybody has a different perception. But here's the thing. Can we collaborate? Can we bring all our truths together to form some beautiful, huge, strong, very educated truth? Because if you can set aside your story for just a little bit to look through life through someone else's eyes and learn and understand, hey, how was that for them compared to how that was for you? Then you're smarter and better. You've created a bridge. And this is possibly the key to what we're facing right now as far as solutions are concerned. It's a very powerful idea. I listened to you on YouTube today, Chrissy, and I was just blown away because the simplicity of the statement is even more powerful than I could imagine. You know, it's just such a simple idea and such a powerful idea. So I just wanted to, I didn't expect to bring that up on this meeting tonight, but I think we need to have that as a subject matter, because I really want to explore that and hear what other people think and feel. I want to embrace other people's ideas and other people's stories. There's a strength in
I think so too. And I think that we are brought up in a society, and again, not to totally take this off subject, but I think this is important because it affects us. And if we do think about this idea of collaboration versus competition, we can drop that right down in society right now, and we would solve a lot of the issues that are happening out there when we can realize this is a collaborative effort. We are here creating this world together. What world we talk about, what world we create, everywhere we go is the world that we'll collectively have and experience together. So if you want to eradicate something, you don't wait for permission. You make sure that it's eradicated everywhere that you go. And you also understand that when someone brings something different to the table, that doesn't mean there's no room for yours. We haven't learned how to make room for each other. We're just used to being all meshed together, energetically speaking. So we're used to, whenever your energy comes in, it takes over the space and there's no more room for my energy. When we can mature, just like how Carlene was talking about maturing in our business journey, when we can emotionally mature and we can learn to take things less personal in our day-to-day life too, then we can just listen. We can just hear everything that they have to say, even if everything they have to say from your experience is unfounded and not true. And the best way to kind of get to a point is not just saying, well, you know what, I think otherwise, let me tell you all my thoughts, but to instead get curious and find out what led you to think this way, what led you to feel this way, what experiences have you had in your life that have led you to this point that this is the way that you're operating in your life, not to judge them, not to fix them, not to tell them that they're wrong. This is not a time for telling people who's wrong and who's right. This is a time for listening and for asking better questions and using more effective communication. Because when you are only expressing your frustrations through destructive means, that's not fully representing what you're trying to communicate. It's just representing a part of what you're trying to communicate. So we have to change.
And you alienate your audience. Who's going to listen to somebody who's insulting them? I heard a really great TED Talk where she talks about someone singing a melody and it's lovely, right? And then someone comes along and sings the harmony and it gets more lovely. And then piece by piece, they're bringing in violins and cellos and piano and flutes and the brass. Next thing you know, it's incredible. How does it get to be incredible? Because everybody is participating.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, the tuba sounds completely different than the flute and completely different than the violin and nobody's wrong. Everyone is together completing the wholeness of the situation, and you end up with something completely magnificent. And it was an excellent metaphor for the situation, because you don't have to give up what you believe or you cherish in order to understand what someone else believes and cherishes. You don't have to give up you. You just have to understand and respect other people's ideas and feelings. To me, that's the real key to the situation. not the right or wrong of the situation.
All right. So,
Sure.
Linda, that's the common tone. Everybody with your symphony, violin, flute, piano, whatever, is that we all helping people. That's the common tone, and then everybody will work together.
Sure.
Yeah. So each of your business is helping people. So you help people, and then they help people, you help people, I help people, she help people, whatever, everybody helping people in the same direction, and you should be fine. There's
Well,
no competition.
I don't know about fine, but it'll definitely be an improvement, and it'll definitely be better.
Okay, there's no competition because each one of them is unique. It's not the same thing, right? There's no competition. Who's going to select? Only, yeah. I don't think there's issue here at all. I mean, you know, even though Linda and I are in the same field, we're different.
Very different.
Very different. Yeah, see, but they don't know. Only if they want to know, they have to find out themselves, right? So we don't fight each other at all.
No, and in the history of the 1099 ladies, which we're coming up on our 4th birthday next month.
Oh my God! Really? 4 years? Oh my
I've only had to block one person in the entire time that we've been up and running.
Oh wow! Yeah.
So, and that was a person who was really destructive. I mean, over the top. So think about how many women I meet and how many people have run through either permanent members or guests, and all that time, one person. I mean, I don't look to do that. I completely avoid it. I only use it when it was 100% absolutely the only answer to the situation. So I think that all of us, no one of us is as smart as all of us, that collaboration is critical to being successful. And I think it's very powerful. And I think that's why this thing has grown. I mean, I started this off meeting 20 women twice a month. And now look at us, 12 chapters. And people approach me. I didn't go out recruiting. People come to me and say, hey, can I please open a chapter? And I say, well, wait a minute. Let me show you what you're getting yourself into here. Because, you know, there's a commitment aspect to it. And there's the set of beliefs that everybody is welcome and nobody is going to be, you know, made to feel otherwise. And they have to embrace this idea of having no competition. Like, they have to completely feel confident in who they are and what they bring to the table in order to facilitate a chapter. Because if they don't, they'll be crushed under the weight of it. If they are feeling insecure and nervous and threatened, that's not a great person to lead a group.
Yeah.
You know?
You have to be like a character, each of them, like Christy. You have to handle everything.
When Chrissy and I came, I said, Chrissy, listen, you are really great at this online space.
Right.
You have great savvy for this technology. Why don't we do an online chapter? She was like, well, let me think about it. I said, of course. And when she came back, she's like, you know what? I can't think of a reason not to do it. I said, well, good.
That is cool.
But I think that, you know, what's nice, I love that we have this chapter, because when people, whatever excuse somebody gives me, oh, it's too far. Oh, you know, I don't have childcare. Oh, I can't take off from work. This chapter is like the answer to every excuse, because you can do it from in your pajamas from your bedroom if you want to. I always wear clothes myself, but there's no proof. Look at Carlene. She's got her professional photo on so that we don't care.
Well, I like your background. That's cool.
Yeah, Bess helped me do this. I told her I want to look more professional, so she put our logo in the background. Although I think it's too white. I think I'm going to do it again and make the wall like a tan color or something. I think it's too stark. But anyway.
Can I say one quick thing? Because I know it's 8:25. We only have
Go for it, Carlene.
I want to
Oh, yes.
Okay, one
100%.
quick thing I just wanted to say, I've enjoyed the conversation, but I wanted to, and I agree what we said earlier about competition. But one thing I wanted to mention in regards to collaboration is we as women are given the intuition that God has given us, and just like with our relationships with our significant others, we sometimes don't listen to that female intuition and allow us to make bad decisions. If you're going to collaborate with someone or partner up with someone, when there's a warning sign, listen to it. When people they show you who they are, you have to believe them. You have to believe what they show you, not necessarily what they say. And I just wanted to add that in there to the conversation because I just think it's so important that we don't always listen to our inner voices, and it gets us in trouble. Every time I don't listen to mine, it gets me in trouble. So that's my 2 cents.
No, that's an excellent 2 cents. And what's really nice about that too is that when you get used to listening to that inner voice, then when you speak on it, you do it with calm and confidence instead of defensive or attack mode. I think about our significant other. It's so easy to say, "You always do this," instead of calmly reserving, saying, "When you do this, I feel that. Wish you wouldn't do that." Like you could approach the situation from confidence and wisdom and comfortable in your own skin, or you could be sort of in survival panic mode, depending. And the more you listen to that inner voice that Carlene's talking about, the stronger you become in approaching situations with that information, with that wisdom. When you don't ever do that, then you don't have that same air of confidence. What do you think, Chrissy?
Yeah, I'm with you. Totally.
Come on, you got to say more than yeah.
I know, I'm like,
why?
I think this group is wonderful because it is really able to make you a real, true, mature woman. I learn from each one of you. I really enjoy into watching you. I can shut myself and not say one word, but I love to watch you guys, really. And I think this kind of gathering just very entertaining, very cool.
Well,
And by the way, huh?
I'm happy you're happy.
Yeah. Everybody happy. Even like you says, if you're on attacking mood, I think that's easy to watch too. People express themselves truly, and then that is how society it is. And doesn't matter what you feel it is. I think you have to make yourself emerging into the whole culture. So I really appreciate this kind of setting, and most of the time, and I should learn from you guys. So thank you.
I love that, and I think that that's what this is all about. It really is, which is why I thought about and said yes to facilitating the online chapter, because here it's a little different. We're not meeting in person. We're not just following a set agenda, introducing a speaker and then chatting it up, where we don't have that ability because, I can't whisper over to Tammy and say something to her. And, it's just a different feel. And I knew that this was a unique experience that really needed to be presented as a roundtable discussion, and someone who could facilitate and hold that space for people to share, and also have that ability to reflect it back and to keep conversation moving and that sort of thing. So over time, we've really found our groove. We've got our core group of women that show up here regularly, and I love to hear that you've learned from us and that you've heard from us, because I think that that's one of the things that when you hang around the 1099 ladies and you see the ones that are consistent in showing up consistently, there's definitely a lot of examples being set that are worth following and worth noting and paying attention to, I feel, which is probably just a reflection of our amazing leader who got us all started.
Suck up alert, suck up alert.
Just speaking facts.
You changed your uniform.
No, I just felt warm, so I had on a thing, so I just said, let me take this off. I feel a little warm, and probably because it's warm out.
The wine.
I was going to say the wine.
The wine, for sure. So let me ask you this. I know
I'm not admitting to nothing.
I know we're right at the end of our time together, but I'm curious to know, is there anything in particular that you ladies would recommend for those watching, or, just sharing from your own personal experience? What are some things that you would recommend to look for if you're looking to pick up a collaborative relationship? So someone watching this, they haven't thought about that other person being anything other than competition, or haven't thought about leveraging their networking relationships for collaboration. What are some things that you ladies look for, and what are some tips that we can help people find from there?
Yeah, I think in the group of different individual, they need to find a common ground for each other. Then you're able to collaborate.
So I was thinking kind of the opposite. It's funny,
really?
Okay. Well, I was thinking people fit together like puzzle pieces. So for example, Wendy's not on the call anymore, so I'm sorry, Wendy, but I'm going to use you as an example. Wendy is a very detail-oriented person, and I am a very big picture person.
Mm-hmm.
So she and I complement each other, because when she comes to me, and she's dialing into the details, they say, hey, Wendy, take a step back, look at the big picture here, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, that's a great perspective. I didn't think of it. And then when I'm all pie in the sky, she's like, hello, have you noticed this detail and this detail? So I think when you meet people, if you look at your strengths, if your strengths complement, because what your strength is another person's weakness, and their weakness, their strength is your weakness, that's a really good union. Because they're going to have insights that you don't have, and they're going to be valuable insights for you, and then you are able to reciprocate for them. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship. But you have to feel comfortable enough to hang around with somebody who's great at something that you suck at.
Is that right? Common ground? There is? You and Wendy, definitely there's a common thing.
But what I'm hearing being said is to find common ground, even if it's not common industry. So if there is a differencing, so combine those two together, find where there's what strengths you have, what would complement those strengths, and then look for people that you can have common ground. So like, even though Carlene and I do different things, she helps people with accounting, not my forte, not anything that I can really contribute to. However,
for her, because I don't want to do that job.
Yeah. However, I work with people on money mindset and helping them to change the way that they relate to money and the way that they show up in regards to money and how they feel about money. So it can be something that's like relaxing and inspiring instead of something that's just like pressure filled and stressful and overwhelming and anxiety filled. So we're able to come together in that way, and we're not necessarily going to attract the same client that's going to sign up with both of us at the same time, although that would be cool. But we definitely can speak to fill in the gaps in each other's audiences, because I'm never going to tell you how you need to budget your money. I'm going to say you need to talk to Carlene and then feel and think this way about it. So look to see where there's those gaps that you can feel, or where you can complement each other, where you can bring strengths together and find common ground, even if you're in different industries, for sure.
And it's like with me, I collaborate with a makeup artist because somebody might want a glamour thing, but I also collaborate with other photographers, but we're on the same level of work, because my clients are looking for a certain thing, but they also may do maternity and things I don't do. So I need to collaborate with them, because if I can't do it, I want to offer somebody that I know can do the job as well as I can. And I feel confident in giving this person's name, because I want, the client to be like, oh, she gave me this referral for this, but I know she doesn't do it, but she does this, and I'll come back to her for these.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Love
and
that.
I've collaborated with you would think other accountants, but with CPAs and local agents, taxes is not my forte. So I always collaborate with them to make sure that our clients are kind of having all their needs met. There's definitely a very synergistic relationship that I'll have with those types of collaborations.
Or you know what I'm thinking of? Laura Talbot, she's a real estate agent. She's actually the Clayton chapter leader. She loves to work with rural properties, Like she knows how much land a horse needs compared to a pig or a chicken or whatever. She understands about all kinds of weird stuff like cesspools. I mean, I don't know. She knows stuff that I don't want to know. But other real estate agents, if someone's looking for a roof, they'll refer it to her because they don't want to go up and down the countryside, losing signal on their phone and stressing out about not being lost in the middle of the country where there's turn left at the old oak tree kind of directions, you know. Laura loves doing that. She's like, woo, Lolly, this blue skies and green field. She's like very happy doing those things. So people actually turn over work to her because they don't want to deal with it, you know? And how smart for her to develop an under-realized opportunity, because now everyone who doesn't want to deal with that just says, oh, hey, Laura, can you take this? You know?
But she rhymes.
Yes.
The rhyming realtor.
The rhyming realtor. It's limericks. So it's fun.
I love this thought of like knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. This could play in both the collaboration and the competition field. That your competition can help you to identify what your strengths and weaknesses are. Don't try to take something that's a weakness of yours and match somebody that's in your field who has a strength in that area, because that's not really the best setup for you. And when it comes to collaborations, know your strengths and your weaknesses so that you don't partner up with somebody else who's not detail oriented. And also that you are really aware of what you're bringing to the table. I think that's one thing that we underestimate a lot as business owners, especially if we haven't had our own right to business success in the 10, 12 years of experience to really like solidify something for us to stand on, energetically speaking, then in the beginning, we can miss that. It can be a short-sighted thing, right?
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. As children, we want all straight A's on our report cards, which the unspoken message is that you're good at everything. But in reality, as adults, you have to embrace the idea that you are not going to be good at everything. It's actually physically impossible to be good at everything. And it is okay to be strong in one set of skills and not in another. And don't feel bad or insecure about it. That is real. And then you look for somebody else who is strong in that and partner with them so that when you meet your client, you can present a whole package kind of a deal. And shed this whole idea that you're supposed to be perfect at everything. That's actually kind of dumb when you think about it. And I do see the value of accepting those weaknesses and understanding your strengths, and then owning your space. Like Chrissy says, she's not going to be an accountant. Her checkbook probably doesn't even balance.
I think that's the end of the meeting, and we're out of time. So just kidding.
If your checkbook does not balance, please call Carlene, the C2 accountant.
Yes, if your checkbook's not balanced, definitely call Carlene. I actually have a date with my finances on a regular basis. I treat it like one of my girlfriends that we have to check in on each other.
Yay, I love it, love it, love it.
I can always, within any, I would say 48 to 72 hour period, let you know where I'm at in all of my accounts. So
let me tell you something. I was in a class with Carlene and somebody asked a number and she went like this. It is blah, blah, blah. Like at the click of a finger, she has all her numbers.
Of course.
It was freaking impressive. That's what it was.
Lead by example, for sure.
Yeah, I was like, show off.
I try.
Well, I appreciate you ladies. Thanks for taking this conversation over just a touch. I think it's a really great conversation to be had, and we certainly can talk about it on a lot of different levels. And I'll say this last little note: when it comes to dealing with customers, dealing with those that you're networking with, those that you are just out in the streets with, wherever life brings you, everybody is looking for or responds to these three things. Everybody wants to be seen. Everybody wants to be heard. And everybody wants to know that they matter. These are just facts. I've been teaching this for 10 years now, and I learned it a long time ago. People want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to know that they matter. And if you're not letting people know that they matter, and you're not out, holding a space for them to be heard, then you're probably not going to have the kind of relationship and collaboration that you could have with an individual. So if you are trying to make a difference, if you are trying to bring together a collaborative relationship, if you are trying to strengthen those networking relationships, or just really make a difference to your fellow humans that we're walking around with these days, or interacting with virtually and in person, then just remember that people want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to know that they matter. And if you can take the initiative to do those three things first, people respond much differently. They can process what they need to process. They can hold the space for you on the other side of it. And just consider that better words make better worlds, and we're all in this together, and we decide what kind of life we're going to be living, what kind of world and what kind of society we're in. So that goes for business relationships, that goes for entrepreneurship, that goes for collaborations, and it goes for however we want to define competition. We decide what it is, and whatever we make it, we have that power, we have that right to do it. So trust yourselves. Thanks for being here. And I'm looking forward to next week's conversation, although I don't have the topic right on hand. And
It'll
yeah.
be fabulous.
Yes, it will be fabulous. We had some really great topics come through for this last little bit. And we're thinking about taking the topics after we go through this next set of topics for June. We're thinking about starting in July, revisiting these topics, but making it more of like a workshop style, so that we can come knowing what the topic is and actually kind of workshop in our business while we're here connecting online. So a little bit more than just, hey, let's discuss, but let's come prepared to discuss and see how we can really integrate this into our business. So any feedback or thoughts on that, we're totally open to that, because this group's for you. I'm just here to make it happen every week. And I appreciate you being here live. I appreciate you watching the replay if you made it this far, and keep spreading the word about this 1099 group. And I just encourage people to check them all out, because if this isn't for you, go check the other chapters. If they weren't for you, go check the other ones. And we're excited to connect with you. Good?
Good.
Right.
Perfect.
Sounds
All right,
good.
y'all.
Thank you.
Yay!
Bye.
Arlene.
Thank you.